the dogs I'm caring for are sleeping. So this seemed like a good time to share this story of one of my biggest celebrity encounters in life. Now, I live in Southern California. It's not uncommon for me to, in passing, see people who are, somewhat known. And I did work in entertainment for a little over a year, but I was like a sound engineer. So although I did meet some important, big names, for the most part, I'm not like bumping elbows with like the big people you've ever heard of. So, um, yeah, but when it comes to running into celebrities, it's not out of the question, and I tend to be fairly calm about it. My method tends to be to just leave them alone, because most of them just want to be left alone, unless you're at a meet and greet or something where you've paid or won something to see them. And for the most part, they're kind of just trying to live their lives. So I tend to just not bother them, because I don't, even if it's someone who like I really care about. Now, this is what I mean by really care about. Oh, good. Now they've woken up. So what I mean by that is that I don't pay a lot of attention to celebrities. Dexter, you're in my shot. I don't pay a lot of attention to celebrities' personal lives. I tend to, I prefer to know as little as possible, because, they say you don't want to meet your heroes and whatnot. But there are a handful that I've been like a lifelong fan of, or even the newer ones who I have the big crush on, like, Jodie Comer. If you watch this, Jodie, I'm a huge fan. I'm sure you're totally going to stumble upon this video someday. Okay, so to the point, that in mind, I just don't pay a ton of attention besides what just comes by my feed on a regular daily basis. So, I'm familiar with the bigger names that are like more popular right now. It's just they're not necessarily in my scope, and it doesn't mean I have bad opinions about them. It doesn't mean I have any ill wishes or anything of that nature. It's just they're not in my scope. So, once upon a time, I had a Disneyland pass. I don't anymore, because I am really poor. So, being really poor, that was one of the things I stopped paying for. I just don't have a Disney pass anymore. But when I had a Disney pass, one of my favorite things, I have a condition, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I have struggled with this my whole life, but was only recently diagnosed. So I have days where I'm what I like to call low pain, high energy. It's a very rare thing for me, but most days I'm at least at moderate pain and relatively low energy, because I fatigue very quickly compared to most people. So on a day where I'd wake up and have nothing else to do, and hey, I have high pain, hey, I have high energy, I have low pain, I think I can actually function today. These are the days when I'm ready to like take on the world. So I totally will wake up and be like, I'm going to Disneyland. So this was one of those days. So I was coming off of Big Thunder Mountain, and suddenly this crowd is like rushing, and everyone's like taking pictures and pointing, and they were in my direction, but I knew they weren't pointing at me, because I'm not that cute. So I stepped out of the way and turned around to see, and I noticed Kris Jenner. Now, I've wanted to clear this up for years. This happened years ago. What I meant to say was, of all the times I randomly go to Disneyland, it's a celebrity who I don't necessarily pay attention to. What came out, and what I didn't mean to say out loud, in fact, was, oh, God, it couldn't at least be someone I actually cared about. Mm. She did give me a bit of a look, but I highly doubt she remembers this happened. I mean, what, did she glare at me all the way to the bank, But this has bothered me for a long time that I accidentally insulted Kris Jenner, who was just trying to enjoy her day at Disneyland. So, just for the record, Kris Jenner, I'm very sorry. I do care about you as a human being. I just meant that as a celebrity, I don't necessarily follow your comings and goings. So, just putting that out there. Uh, it's the autism. I'm sorry. I don't have a very good filter.